I communicate a lot with folks, and I think I get well. I'm likable, and I like to work bipartisan and so on. So people like that because I can remember when SB 529 back in 2006, we did a rally, a demonstration, and it was in the cab on Beaufort Highway, and we ended up in Plaza Fiesta back in 2006, and we had 65,000 people. That was an incredible mass rally that we put in place. Of course, I've always been supportive of the rallies and manifestations and everything, and that always have not affected, but always had an impact on us legislature seeing this type of manifestation.
So, as being part of the GALEO leadership program, I am definitely finding different ways of developing a strategy. The strategy we just came up with this morning is developing a PowerPoint presentation where we can help people that are trying to get different visas or different ways of getting their paperwork and putting out the forms that are available to them, along with gathering local immigration lawyers to work with the individuals and help them through their process. We're very excited.
Then something happened, I think it was back in 2008 or 2009, when the state started doing English only legislation. And that's when we saw not just the Latino community rising against that legislation, but also the Asian community, which was silent at the moment because they saw that that type of legislation on English only was going to hurt their community as well. And so I think from those days we had an incredible partnership or coalition built with the Asian and the Latinos. Of course, African Americans have always been with us, but again, I think that was key to wake up that silent community and have that community engaged. And we have learned from each other, which is good. I think this is we're still in the learning mode. So I think that was great because then elected officials didn't just saw the brown faces. They saw another faces and people that really are making Georgia their home.
I want to be part of the solution. It is a very deep subject, and there's a lot of moving parts to it. I'd like to stay involved and stay engaged and be part of the solution. And what I can do as a community is just be there for these. My heart's, of course, it affects families, it affects young, old, but my heart is with the young people, and I just want to be there for them in any way that I can.
From 16 cities that we have in Gwinnett County, we have only one city council member in Norcross, from all the cities in Norcross, that is African American. We don't have that diversity, and that plays bad. That I live in Gwinnett. And Gwinnett is a majority county. But you see the makeup of the elected officials in Gwinnett, it's sad. Not counting us, but the local folks. And the county commissioners, the school board, cities, the mayors and council people, it doesn't reflect the community they serve. So I've been always a big proponent of folks running for office and getting involved and not just the part of politics and raising money and all that stuff, but stepping up and putting your name in a piece of paper that you're going to be a candidate. And hopefully we will see that through the years.
My strategy is one is to empower the youth We live in Cobb County, and they often don't feel very empowered. So part of my strategy is that even if you don't have papers, that there's still things you can do. And for those that do have papers, that when they turn 18, to encourage them, to teach them about the political process, that you can vote for sheriff, you can vote for your local officials. It doesn't have to be, just the president, that you can really affect things where you live, and to help share that information and empower them that way, and just to become more involved overall.
My main issues with my community, that they need to get involved. PTAs, sports with their kids. There's several areas that they need to be engaged. And I think that we're seeing that more and more. American community, I think one of the things that they have is the voluntarism, the giving to others, and giving their time to others. And I think not just in the school setting, but also the churches and everything else that has to be in the community. And of course, as an elected official, get involved in the political process. So people can see, my next door neighbors, I've seen him at my church, I see him, doing this, doing that. I see him at the PTA meeting at the school. They're working with it. So
strategy for advancing immigration reform is to try to point out that it's the right thing to do, that this country is a country of immigrants, that immigration is vital to the history of this country, and to point out that in every period of American history, including now, immigrants at one time or another have been scapegoats, and that's not right. And it's not in keeping with this country's values and beliefs.
Lending my voice, because I'm someone who doesn't have to stay in the shadows, and I'm someone who's not going to be impacted directly. And I'm someone who's not shy about using my voice. So I see that as my key role for myself and people like me who have had the benefit of believing that they haven't been impacted. We have to be heard, so that those who cannot be heard will be present as well.
that brown face needs to be seen. I'm talking about the Latino community. That brown face needs to be seen. Helping the schools in something, play, or your church, doing something with it. There's plenty to do. You have just to look for it. You just have to look for it, and again, within your community, you got plenty to do. This community, chops where you chop. They pray where you pray. They go to school where you go to school. So we need to care. We need to make sure that they're engaged. And how you get them engaged? Opening arms. Give them the opportunity to be engaged. Los derechos de los inmigrantes son derechos humanos.
Immigrant rights are human rights.